A Philippine official said Chinese Coast Guard ships chased and staged dangerous blocking maneuvers on Monday against the Philippine Coast Guard and fishing vessels in the Scarborough Shoal. According to Associated Press, the contested waters are a rich fishing atoll in the South China Sea off the northwestern Philippines. Commodore Jay Tarriela said a Philippine Coast Guard ship managed to avoid being hit by a Chinese Coast Guard water cannon during the melee. It's the latest flare-up of long-simmering territorial disputes in the busy waterway, a key global trade route, where overlapping claims between China and the Philippines have escalated in recent years. Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan also lay claims to parts of the contested waters. While chasing a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, a Chinese Coast Guard ship accidentally collided with a Chinese Navy ship, Tarriela said. The Chinese Coast Guard ship sustained substantial damage, and the Philippine Coast Guard offered to provide help, including medical assistance, to the Chinese side, he said. There was no immediate comment from Chinese officials on Tarriela's statements. Both China and the Philippines claim Scarborough Shoal and other outcroppings in the South China Sea. China seized the shoal, which lies west of the main Philippine island of Luzon, in 2012 and has since restricted access to Filipino fishermen there. A 2016 ruling by an international arbitration court found that most Chinese claims in the South China Sea were invalid, but Beijing refuses to abide by it.
While we were being chased by the Chinese Coast Guard 3104, ay nagkaroon ng insidente ang pagitan ng China Coast Guard at ng PLA Navy warship 164. Sila mismo ang nagbanggaan at dahil dito na damage yung unahang parte ng barko ng China Coast Guard. And on our part, we even extended our intention to support man overboard and even provide medical attention.
04, this is Philippine Coast Guard vessel BRP Teresa Magbanwa, MRRV 9701. We have medical personnel on board. Should you need any assistance, we are willing to provide assistance. Over.
Itong incident na to, I hope it would already convince the Chinese government, no, to adhere to the collision regulation. Ilang beses na nating sinasabi ito na if we're going to carry out dangerous maneuvers at sea, eventually it will lead to a maritime incident or sea mishap. And this is what happened here.
Reactions to the idea of Ukraine ceding territory to Russia in Kiev varied on Sunday, from skepticism to quiet resignation. According to Associated Press, this came following U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion of a peace deal that could include some swapping of territories. Anastasia Yemelianova, 31, said she felt torn. As a person who loves her country, I don't want to compromise within myself, she told the Associated Press. But seeing all these deaths and knowing that my mother is now living in Nikopol under shelling and my father is fighting, I want all this to end as soon as possible, she continued. Others, like Svetlana Dobrinska, whose son died fighting, rejected outright concessions but supported halting combat to save lives. We don't have the opportunity to launch an offensive to recapture our territories, the 57-year-old pensioner said. But to prevent people from dying, we can simply stop military operations, sign some kind of agreement, but not give up our territories, she added. Ihor Yuzatenko, a 67-year-old pensioner, said he would consider ceding territory on condition for compensation and, possibly, some reparations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski on Saturday dismissed the planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, warning that any peace deal excluding Kyiv would lead to dead solutions. The Trump-Putin meeting, scheduled for Friday in Alaska, is seen as a potential breakthrough in the more than 3-year war.
Вважав, що це все дурня, що це не слід обговорювати. Людям, які ніяк до перемоги напряму не прикладаються. Ось.
Він прикладом перебив собі носа, а потім кінчив самогуб. Зараз у нас в наступі відвоювати свої території немає можливості. Я так рахую. Але щоб люди не гинули, можна просто припинити військові дії, якийсь там договір, але не віддавати свої території, не підписувати, що ми віддаємо захоплені території Росії.
Чесно, я маю дві відповіді на це питання. Перше, це як людина, яка любить свою країну. Я не хочу всередині себе йти на поступки, але бачачи всі ці смерті і знаючи, що зараз моя мама живе в Нікополі під обстрілами і мій тато воює, то я хочу, щоб це все якнайшвидше закінчилось. Я розумію, що багато людей може втратити свої домівки, але ми можемо втратити більше, якщо продовжимо.
Звичайно, за умов відшкодування втрат і, можливо, якихось репарацій. А інакше це просто, якщо все віддати, от зупинитись на цьому і нічого не отримати взамін, то це, можливо, не капітуляція, але програш.
Рішення,